across Europe generally, and of course some of these teams are trying to get certain deals across the line. We'll be talking about that today and see what the implication of the results from the games from last night and the games coming up today would do for some of those teams as they head straight to the market to try to shore up their team. Also with Chelsea, they lost to Southampton yesterday. Oh, what a surprising result, I have to say, against Southampton. And Thomas Tuchel has questions to answer. What exactly are the answers? What are the questions that he might be answering at this point? And his team, what questions may they be? Could they possibly be answering at this point? And what exactly is Thomas Tuchel missing in the squad? We talked about this a bit in the morning on Sports Bank, but of course we'll be doing justice into that, taking an in-depth look into what's happening with Chelsea and transfer world generally. It is Just Football. My name is Blessing Fowowe. We're streaming live on our Facebook fan page. This cold Wednesday. It's raining outside and it's quite cold Wednesday afternoon. Of course, regardless whatever it is you're doing, but perhaps you're taking a break for lunch or getting ready to wrap up work for today. Hey, be our guest and follow us through this journey in the world of football. I'm not here alone today. Toby Adewale is joining me. Toby Adewale, what's good? It's good to see you.
Yeah, good afternoon, Blessing, and good afternoon to our listeners back home. It's nice to be here. Definitely, yes, it's a cold Wednesday afternoon, but definitely sport is always there to actually give us that extra spice, that extra kick to actually enjoy the day. And definitely, yes, football. And we actually saw some round of games from the English Premier League yesterday. Should I say, I really do not know what is wrong with Chelsea at this point, but it's safe to say that they have a goal-scoring problem, and maybe Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang potentially might be the missing piece to their jigsaw puzzle right now.
So it's all about a goal scoring problem.
I think so.
Anyway, we'll get there, Toby. We'll get there in a bit. And the phone lines are open, so you can join us at any point in time. Join our discussion. 08091551055, 08056998678, 0706949300. That's where you can find us. You can find us on Facebook as well. Splash 105.5 FM Ibadan on Facebook. Leave your comments and join our discussion. Before we get right into the games and the transfer window, first off from the Nigerian scene here, where 9-time African champion Super Falcons of Nigeria and United States of America on a 2-match tour of the United States women's national team, with the first of 2 matches taking place at the Children's Mercy Park right there in Kansas City, Kansas on Saturday, 3rd of September. Now, both teams who have qualified for next year's FIFA Women's World Cup finals in Australia and New Zealand will have a go at each other's jugular once more at the OD Field in Washington, D.C. on Tuesday, 6th of September. Now, Coach Randy Waldom has picked up 4 members of the Nigerian under-20 girls that reached the quarterfinals of the just concluded FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup in Costa Rica, and namely defenders Oluwatosin Dimei, Rafiat Imran, midfielders Esther Onyenezide and Deborah Abiodun. Home-based professionals Christy Oriariaku, Akudo Ogbonna, and Gift Monday are also in the delegation of the squad to the United States of America. First-choice goalkeeper Chiamaka Nadozie, defender Osinachi Ohale, midfielder Tony Payne, and forwards Rashidat Ajibade, as well as Uchenna Kanu, will provide the spine for an interesting Nigerian selection there. And the head coach of the U.S. women's national team, who was appointed in 2019, Vlatko Andonovsky, that's his name. In case I'm asking you about this on Friday, just keep it somewhere. Vlatko Andonovsky is his name. He says he's excited to send his girls out against the Super Falcons. Says, and I quote, "First, I am just excited to play 2 matches against Nigeria. They have some of the very talented players who will represent a lot of different problems for us to solve on both sides of the ball." Maybe I should go through the list of call-ups real quick, because I'd like to get Toby's take on some of these players that have been called up to camp, especially the under-20 being called to camp there. For the goalkeepers, we have Chiamaka Nadozie from Paris FC in France, Christy Oheraku from Edo Queens. Defenders, we have Nico Payne from West Virginia University right there in the United States of America. There's Gloria Ogbonna, who applies trade in Turkey. There's Osinachi Ohale from Deportivo Alaves in Spain, Michelle Alozie from Houston Dash, United States, Akudo Ogbonna from Edo Queens, Oluwatosin Dimei from Rivers Angels. Midfielders, we have Jennifer Echeji from Florida State University, Christy Ochebe from Portugal, Tony Payne from Sevilla in Spain, Amanda Mbadi Uju from Turkey, Deborah Abiodun from Rivers Angels, and the forwards we have Rashidat Ajibade, Atletico Madrid, Spain, Rafiat Imran of Rivers Angels, Uchenna Kanu, Tigres Femenil in Mexico, Vivian Ekechukwu of Lithuania, there's Ifeoma Onumonu from Godam FC United States, Gift Monday from Bayelsa Queens, and Esther Onyenezide of FC Robo Queens. When we saw the Women's AFCON in Morocco early this year, and that was in July. Was it July? Yes, right. In July. Some of the things everyone agreed that we saw lapses in the team in terms of some of the old legs that we needed to change very urgently? Would you say the upgrade of this under 20 girls, those 4 girls, is that, the kind of upgrade we want? Is that promoting them to the national team or inviting them for these games against United States? Is that, maybe filling up those spots?
Well, it might not be the end game, but it's a step in the process, and I'm quite impressed with the invitees. I'm talking about the Falconers that were actually invited to join the senior women's national team, the Super Falcons, and so good for them. At least the exposure, even if they might not play 90 minutes, the exposure will be priceless, because playing against a powerhouse like the United States, it's no mean feat, and if not for anything, they'll be able to rub minds, even learn from the big girls, if I can actually use that word, right there on camp. And I'm very happy for these girls. But one thing is certain, aside these things that we are doing in terms of women's football, we still need proper investment in the league. Why did I say so? Most of the time, if we look at on the continent, even the Super Falcons, they are not asserting this dominance that we've actually known over time. Other African countries are gradually catching, or already catching up with us. As outside of South Africa, even within the West African part of Africa, we have worthy competitors right there. And if not for everything, if we look at the type of women's league that we run, even as much as we might want to bash the men's league, our women's league is almost nothing to write home about. And if we need, or if we want to churn out talents that can dominate on the world stage, we need to fix our league. The foundation is faulty, then how would the building even start? So we really need to build from the grassroots.
Build from the grassroots forward. Are there lessons you think Randy Waldron must have learned or taken from the terrible performance we had at the WAFCON, hoping to get those lessons into this games against United States?
Yes, I'm sure we would have learned a lot of lessons, but is it going to be given enough time? Personally, I'm still not comfortable with Randy Waldron with the little time with the little games or few games that I've seen him handle in terms of the Falcons. But I still want to give him the benefit of the doubt. Let us see how he will actually handle this 2 games. Then we can now more or less see if it can continue. Because I'm still trying to wrap my head around it that the Super Falcons still couldn't get a medal of any color from the last ALCON.
Yes.
But we just have to live with it. We have to move on, and let us see how he will actually handle the next couple of games.
Just so you know, his position as the coach of the Falcons might be shaking a bit, because at the last AGM, by the NFF AGM, it was recommended that his performances be X-rayed. I don't know if that's the word that I should use at this point, or if that's the right way to put it. I mean, it's been recommended that his performances at the WAFCON needed to be looked into, and recommendations should arise from whatever investigations was launched into his performance, and that means that including sack. In fact, that's what that was as contained in the communique released by the NFF after the AGM, including sack. I mean, if after you've investigated his performances and you think sacking him is the best way to go, the committee in charge has been asked not to hold back in doing that. But yes, it's good to see that we're having a very, very great friendly against United States. I mean, testing our mettle, and we hope that this helps us build better ahead of the World Cup. And this should be good news for us. Aziza Oshola has returned to training with Barcelona Femenini after a short spell on the sidelines through injury. Remember, she picked up the knee ligament injury when she was with Nigeria at the 2022 African Women's Cup of Nations in July. That's in Morocco. And Barcelona announced that the former Super Falcons captains returned to training on their official Twitter handle yesterday. That means that she's back to training. She's been plagued with injuries in recent times. And remember, she was the joint top scorer in the Spanish Iberdrola just last season. Okay, outside of Nigeria, Toby, let's talk about the games from yesterday. At Italian Serie A, we had Inter Milan defeating Cremonese by 3-0. Roma defeating Monza 3-0. Inter Milan won 3-1, not 3-0. And then Roma won 3-0 against Monza. Tammy Abraham got an assist. Paulo Dybala netted twice in that victory there. The Sassuolo held AC Milan to a goalless draw. That means that they sit a point behind Inter. That's on the table. But here, for Roma, how much of a signing was or how much of a genius signing was it to get Paulo Dybala on board?
I think so. I think when you have a coach or a manager like Jose Mourinho, if Jose Mourinho calls, I think almost every player would answer. I think he has more or less embodied the club there, right there at Rome. I'm talking about AS Roma. So ordinarily, let us say 4-5 seasons ago, I think outside of this former Arsenal player, now I really cannot remember his name now. I think Gervinho. To me, I might be wrong, I think was the last big player that I can remember. Off my not even Mkhitaryan now, that even played for that club. And when Jose Mourinho went for that club, people thought it was a downgrade. But in his first season, he won the inaugural Conference League. And I think he has more or less built this morale. He brought in more or less Chelsea rejects, if I can use that word. Tammy Abraham is banging the goals. He was almost a castaway at Chelsea. He rediscovered his form right now. I'm sure Tammy Abraham would almost make the England squad for the World Cup. And I think with what Jose has actually brought to that team, there's this belief from the fans. And tell me why Jose Mourinho wouldn't call any other player and they would answer him.
But Toby, if it wasn't Jose Mourinho who won that inaugural Conference League title, would you guys be rating that title?
Well, it's whether we like it or not, it's still a continental competition.
Because I feel like we're having double standards here. Because if we were to be any lesser known team, we wouldn't reckon with it that much.
Well, it depends on how you look at it. You know, in the past, I think maybe because of the winning mentality Jose Mourinho brings, I think let us cast our mind back to when he first came to England. You remember these cup competitions? Clubs generally, they like to use their, let us say, their under-21s, their under-19s to play the likes of the League Cup. It was still known as the Carling Cup then. But when Jose Mourinho came...
I think it was Wenger who did a lot of that.
Yes, he did a lot of that. And most of the time, clubs always like to follow that. You just give these young players the opportunity to actually have the experience. But when Jose Mourinho came in, he didn't mind. He would use his first team to play this cup competition, and he would win. And look at now, clubs, they would always want to win every available trophy. They would not... Clubs will even tell you that if possible, they want to win the quadruple, like what Manchester City and Liverpool, they are always trying to eye every season in. But I think with the winning mentality that Jose brings to every club outside of Tottenham anyway, he would always want to win every available laurel with the limited resources with his disposal. And I think that was what he actually did at AS Roma. And look at actually what he won the Conference League. Well, at least there was an English team, I think, in the semis, but they fell midway, and he actually capitalized it. And that was the first major trophy Roma won in a very long time. And tell me why, and tell me why not clubs. More reason why they will say Jose Mourinho will always win you something, no matter how little it is. So I think with Dybala coming on board, I think it will be in contention for the Scudetto if that is not too much for me to say.
Exactly one of the questions I was going to ask you next, where you thought that they would end at the end of the day. Because I'm looking at the players they've brought in now. First off, they shipped out Mkhitaryan, they shipped out Florenzi to AC Milan, they shipped out Robin Olsen to Aston Villa, Brian Reynolds, they loaned him. Shipped out a couple of players, really. And then they brought in Andrea Bellotti on a free transfer. Jorginho Wijnaldum on loan from PSG, of course, is injured and won't be going to the World Cup. Paulo Dybala from Juventus, Neymar Yamati from Manchester United on a free transfer. Miles Silva from Benfica on a free transfer. Sergio Oliveira from Porto on loan. Ainsley Maitland-Niles from Arsenal. I mean, that was back in January, but now Maitland-Niles has returned to Arsenal. But many of the signings that they've gotten almost on a free.
Jose Mourinho is a very shrewd businessman, and he knows how to more or less get it. That's the reason why I said with the little resources within his disposal, he knows how to get the best out of them. More reason why, even when Tammy Abraham left Chelsea, then people thought, why are you bringing someone that was almost rotting on the bench? And look at him playing, rolling back the years and getting those goals while he was still at the English Championship then. So I think there's this X factor that Jose Mourinho brings to every club that he plays. Some people will tell you that if Jose Mourinho actually was managing Tottenham at that final, which he had qualified them, maybe Tottenham might have won their first trophy in a very long time. But in their own wisdom, they took him out
So
and
in a
brought someone.
nutshell, Mourinho is not finished.
To me, I have never seen him as a finished coach.
Mourinho is not finished.
Yes.
But at England, people saw him as a finished coach.
Well, I was one of those that didn't see him as a finished coach. Well, his style might be unorthodox most of the time because he can be very brash with his outburst, but he gets the result. And football is a result-oriented sport. Once you get the results, people will reckon with you.
Okay, let's move on from the games from last night. Coming up in Italian Serie A today at 5:30, we'll have Empoli at home to Verona, Sampdoria hosting Lazio, Fiorentina going away to Udinese, Juventus at home to Spezia, Napoli against Lecce. That's the fixtures for today. I'm looking at... I'm trying to get a look at the standings at the moment. Yes, we have AS Roma, who are on top. They have 10 points. Of course, they played yesterday. Inter Milan have 9 points, a point ahead of AC Milan. Napoli in 4th place with 7 points. Juventus are in 8th place with 5 points so far. Juventus, can they get their acts right and return to the summit? I mean, it wasn't good for them last season.
It wasn't good for them. I think they have a chance this new season. As I've said, the season, as I've always said, the season is a marathon, not a sprint. And they have a new chance to actually more or less rebuild. Whether we like it or not, they are still one of the powerhouses in Italian football. So let us see how they fare. I think once we see how they fare in the first 19 games, or more or less the first half of the season, then we can actually look at their scorecard and see if we can actually bring the stick out for the coach or whoever the coach might be by then, because if the results are not going their way, they might actually throw out the current coach and bring in a new head there. So I think we just see them, give them the benefit of doubt, then we can actually assess their season. And
in the French Ligue 1, it is packed full with matches later today. Angers at home to Reims, Lyon against Auxerre, Monaco against Troyes, Montpellier against AAC Ajaccio. Nantes are going away to Strasbourg, Lens against Lorient, Lille against Nice, Marseille at home to Clermont, Rennes against Brest, and PSG are going away from home to play against Toulouse. We're going to take a very quick commercial break right here on Just Football, and when we return, we'll talk about the English Premier League, starting with the games from yesterday and also looking at Chelsea and what a start to the season that they've had. What are the questions that Thomas Tuchel has to answer at this point? And what exactly is the fit or is the fix, as the case may be, for them? After this break, we'll talk about that. Numbers to call: 080-9155-1055, 08056-998678, 0706-949-3000. We're also live on our Facebook fan page. Search for Splash 105.5 FM Ibadan and join our discussion. After this break, we're back in a bit. It is still Just Football.
Oh, more.
Jeku, wetin happen?
I say make one driver help me carry money go give mama for village. Till now, mama never see money. Driver sef we not see again. Hi!
Yeah. But why you save no use smart cash now?
Smart cash?
Yes, so money matter na sense. So use your secure smart cash wallet to send or receive money, pay bills, or even buy airtime sharp. E dey easy and e no dey tear pocket. Just dial *939# from any network or waka go any smart cash agent wey near you. Smart Cash Payment Service Bank.
Money matter na sense.
Hello, kiddies!
Yes, Mr. Samson.
The break is over and it's time to get back to school. That's right! This time, going back to school will be even more fun. With Capri-Sun, you get free pencils, erasers, sharpeners, and more in our free EduKit in every carton of Capri-Sun.
Get the exciting free Capri-Sun EduKit when you buy a carton of Capri-Sun. T's and C's apply. Capri-Sun, the taste of fun.
Ẹlẹ́pẹ̀ mi ní MC Darezi lórí rédíò. Lórí show lẹ́ni, mo wà pẹ̀lú Mr. Tolu at Tolu Talks. Àwọn ni social media expertise wa, wọ́n dẹ̀ ti já yín sí ìdí tí oríṣiríṣi nǹkan ṣe rọ̀ mọ́ abẹ́rẹ́ àjẹsára COVID-19. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n gba ìpè yìí.
Mo fẹ́ bá àlejò yín sọ̀rọ̀ ni. Níbo gan-an lẹ ti gbọ́ gbogbo nǹkan tẹ́ ń sọ fún wa nípa abẹ́rẹ́ àjẹsára COVID-19?
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe mọ̀, èmi influencer with over 500,000 followers. Mo mọ̀ nípa oríṣiríṣi ìròyìn láti orí àwọn blogs.
Ṣé àwọn àjọ NCDC ló ní àwọn blogs tẹ́ ń kà wọ́n? Àní kẹ́ ẹ yé parọ́ káàkiri nípa abẹ́rẹ́ àjẹsára COVID-19. Ẹ fẹ́ kó bẹ́ẹ̀ mi àwọn ènìyàn ni.
Ìròyìn tó jẹ́ ojúlówó nípa abẹ́rẹ́ àjẹsára COVID-19 wà lórí wẹ́bsáìtì àwọn àjọ WHO, NCDC àti NPHCDA. Dáàbò bo ara rẹ, ẹbí, ọ̀rẹ́ àti àwọn ènìyàn àwùjọ lọ́wọ́ COVID-19. Gba abẹ́rẹ́ àjẹsára ní kíákíá.
Bá ètò
nítorí ìfẹ́.
Gbà nítorí ìfẹ́.
Gbà nítorí ìfẹ́.
In the game, there are always two types of people. The guys who watch the game and the guys who play the game. The game only rewards one. The players. So, which one are you? Be a player with Bet Bonanza. Play online or in shops. BetBonanza.com.
The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, streaming 2nd of September on Prime Video.
We thought our joys would be unending. We thought our light would never dim.
If the evil rising is left unchecked, it will take us all.
Journey to Middle-earth.
Find the light, and the shadow will not find you.
Don't miss The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. Episodes 1 and 2 coming 2nd of September, only on Prime Video.
Okay. My people, who wants Jara? Hands in the air.
We want Jara. We want Jara. We want Jara.
Everyone loves Jara, and every pack of Maggi Star 100 cubes now comes with 5 extra Maggi cubes just for you. Look out for the new Maggi Star pack to get your own Jara inside. Maggi, cook the difference.
Building on the successful completion of our first session with attendance testimony of our professional handling of the classes, we invite interested applicants to enroll for the next stream at the Splash FM Media Academy, an arm of the West Midlands Communications Limited. Our mandate to restore professional excellence in the broadcast industry is still on course, and that's why we invite you to hurry up and enroll now for full-time and part-time intensive practical lectures in presentation, journalism, programs and content development, basic production and digital media, presentation in Yoruba, and so on, leading to the award of Certificate of Proficiency in Broadcast Journalism. Course duration is 6 weeks of intensive practical classes plus interactive practical mentorship sessions with veterans and industrial placement. To register, visit the Splash FM Media Academy beside White House, Felele, Ibadan. For inquiries, call 070-543-93332 or 080-569-98676. On Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, we are at Splash FM Academy.
Ọmọlúàbí, ó ti gbìyànjú, ó ti ṣe dáadáa fún ara rẹ̀, ó ń jèrè iṣẹ́ ọwọ́ rẹ̀ láì ṣe àní-àní tàbí kárí mi. Ó ń ṣe bí ó ti tó àti bí ó ti yẹ gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọmọlúàbí. Múra sí iṣẹ́ tó yọrantí ní ìgbàkúgbà yálà lẹ́nu iṣẹ́ àbí lásìkò ìgbádùn. Ọmọlúàbí, kò iṣẹ́. Ọmọlúàbí, ìbà fún ẹjọ́.
Splash FM 105.5.
Still rocking, still rocking the Amnesty. The Phoenix.
Okay, we're back. It is still Joshua right here on Splash 105.5 FM, the Integrity Station. Remember to find us on our Facebook fan page. We're streaming live there. Leave your comments as we talk about Chelsea transfer deadline day, which is approaching, and what exactly the questions are for Chelsea to answer at this point. And are they still in the title race? That's if you believe they were in the first place. But yes, please let's get talking. You can also call us 0809 155 1055, 0805 699 0706 949 3000. So the game is played yesterday. Crystal Palace played a 1-1 draw with Brentford. Fulham defeated Brighton over Albion 2-1, and Leeds United were held to a draw by Everton 1-1. And Everton are said to be making a late move for Villarreal forward Samuel Chukwueze. Now that's according to reports. And they said that the talks have started already, with Everton keen to add to their striking options before the transfer window closes. Everton, of all clubs. I mean, I do not mean that disrespectfully, but I'm wondering how you would leave a Villarreal to an Everton which is struggling under Frank Lampard.
Well, footballers, you never can tell the sort of discussion or discussions Chukwueze might have had with Frank Lampard. Maybe he feels the project also suits his own personal careers. And with the imminent exit of Anthony Gordon, I think they are looking for a potential replacement.
Well, Gordon is staying. According to Lampard, says it's past his deadline already. He's going to stay. I mean, it's really going to stay. But then they could also be having discussions on adding him as just...
Sure. I think also bringing in a certain Samuel Chukwueze, maybe that might also improve his sort of game, because I think maybe Samuel Chukwueze seems to have stalled, in my personal opinion, because he was growing at some point, but I think his growth stalled. So maybe this new challenge... How
do you define a career of a footballer stalling?
Okay, I think the AFCON 2019 that was hosted in Egypt, we saw how blistering Samuel Chukwueze was, and we thought, oh, this might be the next big thing. And right down from 20, I'm sure our listeners can also bear testament to this, from 2019 up to 2022, what marked or what what major improvement can we say we've seen with Samuel Chukwueze? Fine, injury has played a major role in maybe we're not seeing the best of Samuel Chukwueze, because I think he had a career-threatening knee injury, and I think since the time he came back, he was not the same after that. So, but personally, I feel he has not grown since 2019 in terms of his finishing. Fine, we see those flashes, but he has not been doing it consistently. Maybe if it comes to the English Premier League, where the pace is much more faster than what we see in Spain, maybe that can actually improve him and maybe allow him to rediscover some part of him that he might not even know that actually exists in his game. So I think him coming to England will be able to even see him more, and actually I'm sure that will be a new challenge to him, and maybe the best of Chukwueze might actually come.
See him more. We're not seeing him in Villarreal. That's what Toby's saying.
Well, see more of him. See more of him.
Okay, see more of him. Okay,
yes.
And Southampton 2, Chelsea 1. Southampton had to they came from behind to earn their second win of the fledgling Premier League season, and of course moving them ahead of Chelsea in the transfer market. Now, one of the things that characterized Chelsea's performance yesterday was the lack of cohesion and cutting edge right there at the St. Mary's. Raheem Sterling came on board and well, he's been a top scorer for the team so far, and but then some of the chances that he's had, that he's missed, we know that, very, very familiar with, very typical Sterling. But I think the question will be generally around the team Chelsea itself. But first of all, before we get into that, I'm going to take a break to listen to Thomas Tuchel giving his verdict after that game. He says that, it's too easy for teams to bully Chelsea.
Sum that one up tonight.
Difficult and a bit early. I don't know why, but we start well in all the games almost, and obviously we struggle with our focus and with the consistency in matches. It's not enough to play 20 minutes good. We did the same in Leeds, and one thing goes against us, and then we struggle to find answers, and we struggle to fight our way back if the things don't go in our direction. Today they went in our direction, and still with the equalizer we started to struggle and to adapt, and gave it completely out of our hands, and it's the situation.
Does it concern you that it will take time to sort of dissect and work out why things aren't clicking, bearing in mind the games?
I don't know if concern is the right word. I absolutely dislike to lose, and it's already second time in the season, very early, and it does not take a lot to beat us. This is what I don't like. We are humble enough to understand that we can lose football matches, and of course away matches. This is also, we don't like it, and we try to win every match, but the way we do this is for sure something we need to understand as fast as possible and to change.
Ruben Loftus-Cheek came off at half-time. Was that a knock or...?
Yeah, hamstring injury, so next midfielder out, there's no one left. So the recommendation for Mateo Kovacic was 20 minutes. We made 45 out of it. It's a situation I also don't understand why we are in this situation regarding the injuries, and the injuries like all players in midfield. But that's the way it is, and we need to find solutions.
Are you also confused as to how it's only Raheem Sterling at the minute that's giving you sort of attacking returns in your forward line?
Yeah, it is what it is. It's a reality, and we played with 4 offensive players now many times. We, like I said, I think in the first 20 minutes we created quite chances, half chances, but we struggled to score, which is also not brand new for us, and does not necessarily need to have the consequence that you lose matches. You can also win 1-0, you can win 2-0 with a late goal, so no problem. But then you need to have a clean sheet. You need to be more focused, and amount of individual errors, lack of concentration is simply too high at the moment to win football matches consistently. We can win, of course, what we proved, but it's not consistent enough.
What do you plan to do between now and West Ham on Saturday?
To understand the match, I have no plan right now. I need to understand what the team needs. There's no plan at the moment, but we will have a plan when we arrive on Saturday.
Okay, Chelsea fans, that was your manager, Thomas Tuchel. He says he's trying to understand what the team needs at this point. So perhaps you have an idea of what your team needs. Maybe you can call in and tell us. 08091551055, 08256998678, 0706949300. We're also live on Facebook. You can leave your comments there as well. If peradventure, you know what Chelsea needs at this point in time, you can tell us what they have to do. Of course, transfer market's closed tomorrow, so if it has to go back into the market to buy players, let's get into that and talk about that. Well, someone here on Facebook is asking me to welcome Wesley Fofana to Chelsea. Well, he's been unveiled as a Chelsea player. That's Anoluwapo Ezekiel Jimo is asking me to please welcome Wesley to the bridge. Okay, we'll welcome him officially to Stamford Bridge. That's Wesley Fofana, who has now been unveiled. £70 million plus a possible £5 million in add-ons. That is the fee that could tempt him away from Leicester City. But now let's get back to Chelsea, the game last night, and what they need at this point. I listened to Thomas Tuchel there talk about how it's so easy for teams to bully Chelsea. Is it that easy?
I think the results are actually obvious. I'm sure. Shall I say Chelsea? They were more or less lucky with that 2-1 scoreline, even though it was a defeat for them, because there was more or less a goal line clearance that Thiago Silva actually made from a corner kick there, and it just shows you that team is disjointed right now. Fine. Raheem Sterling is scoring the goals, also losing some. Not too surprised with was Sterling, but I think left to me, barring the number 9 cost that most of us actually tend to mention at Chelsea, they have a goal scoring problem.
Hold your thoughts for a bit. Let's check this call out. Hello, who's there?
Hello, good afternoon, Blessing.
Good afternoon. What's your name?
My name is Mr. Francis.
Mr. Francis, welcome. It's great to have you.
Yeah. You see, that question you've just asked is a £1 million question. First and foremost, let's take a look at the attack Chelsea is parading right now. And again, when you look at it vividly, you will see that the attack is not as polished as it ought to be. You can imagine yesterday's match. At the first 10 minutes, if Chelsea was up by 4-0, it would have been a good game. Because they had a good time to score goals. But they are toying with it. And we know that football is about goal scoring. If you don't score your goal when you have the opportunity, it will never come by. You see the goal that was scored by the opposing team.
Yes.
You saw that game was after the 18. You don't need to dribble to the 60 before you score a goal. Look at Sterling yesterday. He would have scored over 3 goals before he scored the one he did. So definitely, the coach is saying the right thing. You need to sit down with these boys and ask them what is responsible. They have the team that can beat anybody. I'm not a Chelsea fan, but I know definitely that they play good football and they are in the realm of trying to make sure that this season they gain something that is good. Good afternoon.
All right, thank you very much for calling, Mr. Francis. It's 09155 1055, 08256998678, 0706949300. What is the fix for Chelsea at this point? I mean, it's quite funny how just prior to the start of the season, we're talking about we didn't exactly see Chelsea in this kind of situation. If there was any team we saw in this situation, it was Manchester United. I mean, basically that's based on what has happened last season and how the summer transfer window felt like at that point. But all of a sudden, it looks like United are looking like maybe the almost more stable one, I should say. But yes, we'll get back to that in a bit. Hello, who's here?
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name, sir?
I'm BJ from Barcelona.
I didn't get your name, sorry.
I'm BJ from Barcelona.
Okay, welcome. Let's go.
Yeah, I think Chelsea needs 2 things. First, they need a proper midfielder.
Okay.
Secondly, they need an attacker.
Yeah, I mean a goal scorer, not just an attacker, a goal scorer.
Okay, a midfielder in the mode of who?
I think a central midfielder, someone like De Jong or something.
Okay, Frankie De Jong. Okay.
And a goal scorer, not just an attacker, a goal scorer.
A goal scorer, like Aubameyang, right?
I'm not a big fan of Aubameyang.
So who would you suggest?
It's split to suggest to Chelsea.
So who is available at the moment?
Lewandowski when he was free. You know, he has charisma. He can play. Other guys in. Aubameyang is not really very. I'm not really a fan of him, but he's a good scorer as well.
So should Chelsea fail to get these people that you've mentioned, is that going to perhaps tell us what their season will be like?
I don't think they will be able to solve the problem. Should they fail to get at least an attacker, you should just be expecting to be like 7 or 6 at the end of the season.
Wow. Okay. All right. Thank you very much for calling. 08091551055, 08256998678, 0706949300. Remember to find us on Facebook, Splash FM 105.5. That's where we are on Facebook. Toby, let's get back into this discussion. I mean, not just any attacker, a striker,
yes,
a proven goal scorer who will get the goals in the back of the net. Apparently, this Hakim Ziyech's experiment is not working.
It's not working. It's not working. I was actually discussing with a friend earlier today, and I was saying he actually mentioned this. Victor Osimhen to me that if Chelsea could more or less break the bank for a certain Victor Osimhen, maybe he could actually thrive. And I tried to picture it in my mind that. Funny enough, I think he might actually thrive in such a team because Victor Osimhen is this type of player that is he labors for the ball, is a very hard-working player. When you're talking about the work rates, and definitely for you to play in England, you must have a very high work rate. And I think he might more or less fit into the mode of a goal scorer, a poacher, someone that can actually be a fox in the box for what Chelsea needs right now. And but I think that might not actually work at this point, but never say never when it comes to the world of transfers. Things can change in the next 1 or 2 minutes. But I just as I said earlier, as soon as we started, there's a goal scoring problem at Chelsea, and they must solve it if they want to end in a respectable position at the end of the season.
And now with Wesley Fofana on board, the defense has a new shape, has a new look. How do you fancy Tuchel to line up? I'm still
trying to picture it. Yesterday they played with a 4 at the back. Sometimes they play with a 3 at the back. But right now, who is going to stay on the bench? Is it going to be, because we know Fofana to be a centre half? What would the pairing look like? Will it be Koulibaly and Wesley Fofana, or Thiago Silva and Wesley Fofana? We really do not know. And outside of Thiago Silva that came on a free, they spent a lot of cash to bring this player. So I really don't know how it will work out. Maybe I think Silva signed a 1-year deal, and maybe he might just run down his contract, and Fofana will more or less assume that role from next season on a fix. That is if he's injury free and if this experiment works out, because as I've said, it's still an experiment. Most Chelsea fans, or some Chelsea fans, were expecting them to bring a goal scorer, but you are just loading in defenders when you need more goals. You are just shoring things at the back, except if they want to play total football where the defenders will more or less be scoring goals.
They say defenses win championships, perhaps.
Well, but before you win championships, you still need to score goals too, because clean sheets will more or less give you 1 point, but more or less a goal is a potential 3 points depending on how you actually look at it. But I just wish Chelsea all the best.
Okay, and Barcelona striker Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang suffered a minor fracture to his jaw in the attack on his home over the weekend. He's expected to be out of action for 3 weeks. Aubameyang can resume non-contact training next week. Chelsea are aware and they are sympathetic of the situation. We're hearing that is not going to affect that potential move to Chelsea. So the talks are still going on between Chelsea and Barcelona. They are yet to reach an agreement as regards fee and payment structure. Barcelona wants Chelsea to pay fee only for this man, and they're also negotiating for Marcos Alonso on the side as a different deal entirely. So despite the issues, I thought that it was going to affect the rubber incident and the jaw fracture was going to affect Aubameyang moving to Chelsea, but Chelsea are saying that they are sympathetic of that situation, and talks is still going on. It could break down eventually, but just so you know, they've had meetings and meetings are still going on as regards that. So I still want to know what you think should be done with Chelsea. What's the fix? What questions are there for Thomas Tuchel and his boys to answer, and how exactly do they get to answer those questions before the transfer market closes tomorrow? Get on our Facebook fan page, leave your comments. I've seen some comments on Facebook already. I'll be getting to them in a bit, and I'll take them. The phone lines are still open, so you can call us as well. 0809155 1055, 08056 998678, 0706 949 3000. I'm told we have to go on a very quick break again, and return. We'll talk about the games coming up later tonight. City are in action, Arsenal in action, AFC Bournemouth, Wolverhampton Wanderers are in action as well. After this break, we're back. It's still Just Football.
Every morning is an opportunity to take your hustle to the next level. So, start every day with a great tasting cup of Nescafe 3-in-1. Just add water and enjoy the perfect blend of coffee, creamer, and sugar with that rich, creamy taste you love. To help you start strong and make every morning count. Start strong, finish strong. Nescafe.
Chef D, what is this inviting aroma?
It's the delicious seafood okra we discussed. First, I blended my okra with the Philips blender I bought from Altmore. Then I cooked everything with my 4-burner gas cooker I bought from Altmore.
D, I'm begging me a plate now.
On Altmore, you can own now and pay later with flexible payment options of up to 24 months. There is zero interest on all products, so shop your home appliances, gadgets, and more now on www.altmall.ng. Altmall. Shop more. Pay easy.
Hello, kiddies!
Yes, Mr. Campison!
The break is over and it's time to get back to school! That's right! This time, going back to school will be even more fun! With Capri-Sun, you get free pencils, erasers, sharpeners, and more in our free edu-kits in every carton of Capri-Sun!
Get the exciting free Capri-Sun Educate when you buy a carton of Capri-Sun. T's and C's apply. Capri-Sun, the taste of fun.
Child, your pikin don land. Hello. No dolo. Give your pikin breast milk sharp inside 1 hour where you born am. Make it take drink that first yellow milk where then they call colostrum. That first yellow milk colostrum gets everything where your pikin need. Plus say go protect your pikin against yamayama disease. No forget give your pikin breast inside the first 1 hour when you born am. This message now from ARIM Project, Federal Ministry of Health.
The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, streaming 2nd of September on Prime Video.
We thought our joys would be unending. We thought our light would never dim.
If the evil rising is left unchecked, it will take us all.
Journey to Middle-earth.
Find the light, and the shadow will not find you.
Don't miss The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. Episodes 1 and 2 coming 2nd of September, only on Prime Video.
I'm living the life because I get this hey, kọ́ńbù ẹ̀kọ́ àlejò emú gbòǹgbòǹnà ẹ̀kọ́ àlejò ẹsẹ̀ Ìbàdàn nílé Olúyọ̀lé ẹ̀kọ́ àmójúbà Tizeti Network Limited pẹ̀lú Tizeti ìlò omi òjò lẹ́ẹ̀ma lu ayélujára íńtánẹ́ẹ̀tì níyàwálù torí pé gbajúgbajà níléeṣẹ́ Tizeti Network Limited nídìí ìpèsè ayélujára lórílẹ̀‐èdè Nàìjíríà fún iléeṣẹ́ ńláńlá àtolókòwò kéékèèké lábẹ́ àbúradà Tizeti ẹ lè browse kẹ́ stream kẹ́ sì tún gbá géèmù bó ṣe wù yín láì níkọ̀sẹ̀ pẹ̀lú ìlànà ẹgbẹ̀lẹ́mùkú data kéèmà ṣeré ìwọ ni kò má sọ̀fànù 12,500 naira péré lẹ́ẹ̀fì jẹmùlá data fódìdí oṣù kan gbáko lábẹ́ àbúradà Tizeti láì níkọ̀sẹ̀ ẹ kàn sí wifi.com.ng/oyo ẹ sì lè pe 01-2298-786 tàbí kẹ́ ẹ tẹ àtẹ̀jíṣẹ́ sí internet@wifi.com.ng ayélujára níyàwálù.
Good afternoon, madam.
Fresh guy. See fresh skin, fresh looks, fresh clothes, everything fresh.
Madam.
Yes?
My wife just put to bed.
Fresh baby.
Please, give me a pack of Peak yogurt drink.
No wonder.
That's right. Just refresh with Peak Yogurt Drink, which contains fresh cow milk. Peak Yogurt Drink is filled with essential vitamin and minerals.
Come on, fresh guy. This your money is not fresh,
Go for you. Must go reach my peak. Peak. Reach for your peak.
City of Ibadan, get set. This is
is different. You're specially invited to the Holy Ghost Convention 2022. For 40 years, God has blessed so many souls through our Father in the Lord, Bishop Francis Fowowe. Holy Ghost Convention will take place on Saturday, September 3 to Sunday, September 11, 2022, 6 a.m., 9 a.m., 12 p.m., and 4 p.m. daily at the International Conference Center, University of Ibadan. This year's theme is the King of Glory. Holy Ghost Convention kicks off with a youth mega jam on Saturday, September 3 by 10 a.m., followed by our conference for all ministers of God on Monday, September 5 to Wednesday, September 7. All roads leads to Adama Sigma Stadium, Ibadan. Thursday, September 8 and Friday, September 9 for the Worship and Miracles Extravaganza, 4 p.m. on both days. Ministering Bishop Francis Fowowe, Evangelist Ekiad Ombo, Pastor E.A. Adeboye, Bishop David Oyedepo, Bishop Michael Konko, Bishop Felix Adejumo, Apostle Joshua Selman, Pastor Jerry Eze, Pastor TikTok Ishaku, and Pastor Podri Oyemade. Ministering to us in songs will be Apostle Paul Sinach, Bola Are, Nathaniel Bassi, Dunsi Onyeko, and a host of other spirit-filled musicians. You won't remain the same. Jesus is Lord.
Okay, we are back and gradually reaching crescendo on the show this afternoon. It's still just about right here on Splash 105.5 FM. Oh, it's 09155 1055. Hello, who is here? Have you blown up our phone lines?
Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. What's your name, sir?
I'm Ezri.
Okay, welcome.
Yeah. Is it that that country does not allow players to organize their own security, or they are just being careless? I'm referring to Aubameyang
to Spain.
Is it illegal for people like that to organize their own security, or they are just being unnecessarily careless?
Of course, it is not illegal. You know, sometimes the most guarded places, you know, they are also prone to attacks. Sometimes. I mean, there
was no resistance.
These things happen. That's just what I want you to know. These things happen.
Okay.
Let me give you an example. Example of I think it was a French player, Karim Benzema, whose house was robbed while he was playing. Manchester United player, I can't remember whose name particularly now. He was robbed as well. You know, everyone gets these things happen.
It's because they are careless, eh? It has happened to Pogba too.
Okay.
How do I have that type of money and somebody will come and just do whatever he likes and go scot-free like that? No.
Okay. All right. Thank you for calling. Okay. Well, I remember what's this Sead Kolasinac and what's the name? Who moved to Turkey from Arsenal? Mesut Ozil. Yeah. You know, who was, I think it was Sead who was, or Mesut Ozil was to be attacked.
Yes, and Sead actually stepped in.
You know, these things happen.
Even Angel Di Maria at some point when he was United.
It happens. But let's move on from there and talk about the games coming up later today in the Premier League. Lots of games to talk about and to also look at. Like I said earlier on, City are in action against Nottingham Forest at 7:30. Guardiola has refused to say if Haaland will be starting or not, and he says his word is final. He's not going to explain his decisions for whatever reasons. He does what is best for his team, and that is to win games. And Arsenal have a game against Aston Villa. They are the only team with a perfect record so far in the Premier League. They're hoping to continue with that when they take on Steven Gerrard's side, who have been very, very good. And AFC Bournemouth are at home to Wolverhampton Wanderers today, and London derby, West Ham and Tottenham Hotspur at 7:45 p.m.
Tantalizing fixture, and definitely, I think with what Antonio Conte has brought to Tottenham, excuse me, I think I want to more or less put Conte in the class of Jose Mourinho. Why did I say so? They have this X factor, this winning mentality, and I think that's actually what Tottenham has been missing. And I think, whilst I really do not, my personal opinions anyway, I don't see Tottenham as more or less like a serious team, but I think this season I'll actually be impressed if they can actually get maybe one or two cups.
Tottenham, yes, but they've recruited very well.
Yes, they have. And when you look at a player in the stature of Harry Kane that has broken records for Tottenham, a lot of individual records, but sadly no trophy to actually lay claims to. I think with Antonio Conte, I think maybe that might change.
Maybe
at the
this season it could be different for them. And Arsenal against Aston Villa, can they continue their 100% record?
It will be difficult. It will be difficult
really?
Because
against
well, the reason why I said so is that I think I don't know if Tyrone Mings will play this game with the likes of Tyrone Mings and maybe
available actually. Philippe Coutinho.
And Philippe Coutinho. These are players that more or less, I think, once they see Arsenal, I think maybe there's this extra motivation that actually comes upon them.
Of Arsenal.
Well, yes, you can say that, but if they can actually grind the result, just like they did against Fulham, it will be a good 3 points for the Gunners.
Okay, and City against Nottingham Forest. I'm not expecting much, but Nottingham Forest that has signed a whole football team and plenty of substitutes, as a matter of fact.
Yes,
20 signings.
Definitely. But I think Pep Guardiola has sent maybe a hidden message to FPL players when talking about Erling Haaland, where he didn't actually put his neck out saying if he will play or not. But I think that is actually enough message that don't be surprised if Haaland doesn't play this game.
Especially if you captained him, sorry.
Exactly. Sadly, actually captain Haaland, but I think they should actually get the 3 points no matter what happens.
And then Newcastle and going away to Liverpool. Liverpool are unbeaten in 26 Premier League games, home games against Newcastle, and they've scored the most goals than any other team against Newcastle. You fancy that to continue?
Well, I think there's a new spirit at St. James's Park, and we saw what they did to Manchester City.
I remember.
So even if Liverpool eventually wins, it will not come easy. Fine, they won 9-0 against AFC Bournemouth, but AFC Bournemouth is not in the class of Newcastle. So I think if they get 3 points, if they must win dirty. That's one thing I'll tell Liverpool.
If you're going to win dirty, that is what it's saying. But maybe the 9-0 against Bournemouth can propel them to get more goals. And to transfer stories, of course, you know that Anthony has been signed by United. Dubravka is also going to be, that deal will be completed very soon. And Erik ten Hag is saying that will be the final Manchester United signings. He's not expecting any other thing to be done in the market tomorrow. So United fans who are waiting for players to come in, maybe you can rest easy on that. But maybe there will be players that might leave at the end of the day. But that's what Erik ten Hag is saying at the moment. And Leicester City are in talks to sign Belgium defender Wout Faes as a replacement for Wesley Fofana, who has now been unveiled at Chelsea. And they've also received a bid of about £90 million for Yuri Telemans from a mystery club. That's according to reports. That man has a year left on his contract. Remember, Arsenal have been linked with him. They've been very, very interested. And the last bid that Arsenal submitted for him was about £25 million, and they said they are not going lower than that. Let's see what is going on Facebook right now. We've got a couple of comments here. Oladipo Seun Bukola, thank you very much. Says he's watching us from Baremu in Ibadan. Agunbi Adeshere, we see you as well. Emmanuel, thank you. Elijah Idowu is asking, who is Arsenal buying now? Well, at the moment, just rumours, and more rumours. But I'm guessing the injuries to Thomas Partey and Mohamed Elneny could force Arsenal to do something before deadline day tomorrow. But generally, we are told that they are not fretting. Basically, they are happy with the business they've done so far. And this is from... Okay, Muyiwa Adede is also asking for an update on Arsenal transfer. I already gave you that. Thank you. Tokwe Bello says, we will build a team no one wants to play against. 2, it does not take much to beat us. I love the present agony of Chelsea. Long may it continue. That's from Tokwe Bello, not from Blessing. Okay, Sheo Fresh says, what Chelsea needs is a striker, and we have it. Broja let Chelsea just give the young a chance instead of Havertz. He's asking for Chelsea to give Broja a chance instead of Kai Havertz, and that way maybe it can solve all of their problems. We have to leave right now. Thank you very much for being here, Toby Ajewole.
Thanks for always having
me. When we call you, maybe you will be able to return.
No problem.
All right, I'll be back here tomorrow at 7:30 for Sports Bank in the morning. Thank you for being a part of Just Football today. We'll be back here tomorrow, next Wednesday at same time, tomorrow at 7:30 for Sports Bank. My name is Blessing Fowowe. Au revoir.
Splash FM 105.5.
Eré ìdárayá EPL di ṣíṣí ní òpin ọ̀sẹ̀ yìí ọjọ́ kìíní sí ọjọ́ kẹrin oṣù kẹsàn-án ni o £2,950 péré ni o. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni òpin ọ̀sẹ̀ ti lárinrin mèrègèdè fún ọ pẹ̀lú àwọn ìkànnì eré ìdárayá tó ṣí sílẹ̀ fún ìgbádùn rẹ nínú gbogbo ìṣètò orí DSTV Yanga package. jẹ̀gbáládùn ìfẹsẹ̀wọnsẹ̀ English Premiership pẹ̀lú àwọn àlékún ìdíje eré ìdárayá míì lópin ọ̀sẹ̀ yìí. iná àràǹbarà kọ́kọ́ gbòkè lálá ní Old Trafford níbi Manchester United ó ṣe tẹ̀síwájú láti forígbárí pẹ̀lú ikọ̀ Mikel Arteta. èyí ni ikọ̀ Arsenal gẹ́gẹ́ bí ikọ̀ Gunners pàápàá ṣe ń retí láti tẹ̀síwájú bẹ̀rẹ̀ dáadáa wọ sáà ìdíje EPL season láti Thursday ọjọ́ kẹ́ni oṣù kẹsàn-án títí wọ Sunday